Hello YouTube, you are welcome to my channel once again. My name is David Ejibe on After VFX Knowledge. Some people ask, how can I create matte paintings? The question is, what is matte paintings? Before you create matte paintings, you have to know how to use Photoshop. If you don't know how to use Photoshop, because you must create your matte paintings from Photoshop. Matte paintings is when you bring so many pictures and combine them to moving objects in After Effects composition. You have to set up your set design. Is just like a set designing. You design the set the way you want it. So right now I will show you, those that don't know how to use Photoshop, I will take you through the basics of how to use Photoshop. Now this is Photoshop. I just opened a Photoshop. So Photoshop, from now I will bring in picture by going to open and now navigate on any type of picture that I want. As you can see, I have a bunch of pictures here. So now let me use this pictures. This is a picture that I downloaded from Google Image. I came across this picture and I downloaded it. So now I will crop out these antelopes and have my background and also have my heel in another layer. All of them is going to be different. They will stay in their own way. So right now this image, as you can see, let me make it editable by double clicking on this place. Once you double click, you can make it editable. You see, you can now move it. You double click here, you make it editable so that you can move your pictures anyhow you want it. For those that have not been using Photoshop for the first time, when you open this Photoshop, first of all you have to check here, check it, click here, auto select, and also click here, show transform controls, the two, so that you have this edge, this 4 edge. Good. Let me show you how you crop all these things. First of all, we'll take this polygonal lasso tool, or you simply click L on your keyboard to take this. First of all, let me crop out this antelope. Then you now click, you press plus on your keyboard to zoom, minus on your keyboard, you see, zoom in, plus and minus, plus and minus. Before you do matte paintings, I want to show you how to use Photoshop as a beginner. Now let me trace this by clicking. Let's assume I click where I don't supposed to click. Then I'll press delete to go back. Delete on your keyboard. Then you continue. If you make mistake again, you click delete, then you continue. So let me walk you through on this. You trace it. You trace it carefully. Carefully. Like I said before you start creating matte paintings, you will know how to use Photoshop. This tutorial is going to be in segments. I will put them into parts so that you will learn Photoshop in just no distant time. I'm still tracing the antelope. I'm still tracing the antelope. Sometimes when you are tracing your object, you mistakenly click on the laser tool on top of it, then you will have a problem. I will show you everything. Today we are learning about Photoshop. You close it. Let me go back. Then I trace it, and when you see this dot, there's a little dot that means you want to close it. The dot is out. You know, the dot is there. I click. As you can see, we just trace the antelope. So what will I do now to separate this antelope from the background? So what I will do is I will hold on Control J. Control J. When you click Control J, you see the antelope is on its own. As you can see, this is the antelope. You double click on the layer, you name it antelope 1. See, antelope 1. Okay, for now let's switch it off, but it's still there. Then let's get rid of the second antelope. But before we do that, there's an image, there's a write-up that covers the antelope. How do we fix that? We need to fix it before we now separate the antelope from the background. So how do we fix it is we go back to this move tool, then click on the picture. We go here, they call it clone stamp tool, or you press S on your keyboard. So what does this clone stance tool simply do? What is its work? Its work is to clean anything that you don't want by replacing it with the background. So how do I do that? I will hold on Alt. You can set the sizes. You see, it's now big. Then I can reduce it. You see, it's small. Then this is what I want for now. Or let me go this. I will now click on this rock, hold down Alt. You see, once I hold down Alt, it will change. Then I will click on the place I want to take the paint I want to use to paint this thing out. You see, I am now painting the image carefully. I am painting it out, the write-ups. Then I click on the cloud, hold down Alt, click to get a nice cloud. For now, if you made a mistake, Control Z to go back. But if you can't walk as you see it, you go here, history, you remove it, go back, go back, go back. You see, it's out. So what I do now is to reduce. Alt click, reduce and reduce. I click this one, fed. This one is sharp, this one is fed, as you can see. Then this one is sharp. It's not giving us a nice background. Then let's use this fade and start afresh. Like I said before, this tutorial is going to be divided into segments, into parts. Good. So let me start, click and remove all these things. I'm trying to be organized. Like I said before you do mouth paintings, you have to know how to. I am not a professional in Photoshop. Control plus so that I can see whatever I am doing clearly. Then now reduce, paint in here, hold down Alt click, let us paint in the legs using some of this skin. from his body to painting here. Take this and replace here. Like I said, just trying to be organized. Okay. I think you're seeing what I'm doing, replacing the legs somehow. Okay, I think for now let us use this. Then I will take this tool and trace the antelope. Go back to layer. I'll use this tool to trace the antelope. There are so many ways to trace objects on Photoshop, but I'm just showing you how to start. For a start, for beginners, just use this way to learn how to crop objects on Photoshop. Don't bother the hairs for now. Next time, on next tutorial, I will show you how you can cut an animal with a hair and still retain the hairs. But for the sake of this tutorial, let me keep it straight so that we will go somewhere. We'll do some other things. Okay, remember Control J. Remember Control J. Call it Antelope 2. Control minus. Good. We have the first antelope and the second antelope. Then let us have the background and the sky. First of all, you click on this. Since we are going to have the sky, we will now remove the antelopes by taking this clone stamp tool. Alt click. Softer one. Alt click. Anyhow, we just have our sky, and so if I on the antelope, you have seen the previous picture. Let me remove them. So let us have our rock. The hills, the mountain, whatever you call it. Remember, you join it. Control J. Call it what? A mountain. Good. This is our mountain. This is our antelope. And let us have our sky. Let us have what? Our sky. By clicking on this, we go back and take this clone stamp tool and alt click, remove mountains and leave only sky. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. We have now our sky. You can now colorize the sky if you like. Change its shape. Okay. 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 Good. Save your project. Save. Then you call it antelopes maths paintings. You navigate where you want to save it on the folder. Okay, let me save it on the desktop. I will click save. Then we have our mountain, we have antelope 1 and we have antelope 2. Then let us say, let's assume, call this one cloud. Let's assume we bring in another picture. We bring in another picture. This type of picture. Hold down shift and alt to drag. You see, shift and alt to drag. You can manipulate the antelopes. Then you click enter to accept. I can now manipulate the antelope. You see? So what will I do now? I will remove this background and return the former background. Let us go and remove this background. You can still paint it out, but to cut it, you get a nice edge. You want to return these trees. Like I said before, there are so many ways to trace picture, but you have to start this way so that Photoshop will master you. Next time I will show you another way to trace. Control X to delete. Okay. What I did is Control X. Let me bring it back. This is Control Z. You can right click and say feather. You feather it to 3 or any amount. You say Control X. Control X. Remember, we want to maintain these trees. Control X. I use this. We call it magic wand tool. Control X, click, Control X, Control X, Control X, Control X, Control. Just, well, even if you remove the tree, you can still replace it with another tree. Let us remove it. Remember, we are still learning. This is a platform I will teach you everything from grass so that tomorrow you become a professional. Remember, practice always make perfect, they said. This is another background. Let me refine these edges somehow. Then here, this switch, call it add layer mask. I've add layer mask. I click on the white solid, go here. Sometimes the white will be here, black will be here, but make sure the black is up while the white is down. Then I will take this brush tool. This is where you find brush tool at the top. Then I'll size it. And now you find the edges somehow. As you can see, I'm refining the edges as if there is a fog. There's a fog. As you can see what I'm doing. For the sake of the tutorial, I'll just keep it simple. Now, delete this guy. We don't need him again. The mountain, the antelope, and the other antelope. Did you just see it? This is our paintings. Now let me add other things at the background. Look for another picture. Another picture. Look for another picture. let's try this, depending on what you want. Let's try this first. Remember, this is how you'll be cutting pictures on Photoshop. For the sake of the tutorial, I will keep it simple. You can take your time and trim the picture to get a perfect. Okay, right click and okay, Control X. Let us bring this inside and delete this guy. We don't need him. You see? So, what will I do now? I will Control Alt, make it very necessary. Very necessary. Okay. For now, let me save this project for now. Since we are going to use it on full HD, let me reset this video to full HD by going File, New, 1920 by 1080. Okay, this is full HD video, and I'll now highlight all this by hold down Shift, click the last one, then drag them to my video and reset all of them back. Hold down Shift, Alt, resize for now. or you can still, better still, you can leave it that way. You can leave it that way. We'll do that in After Effects. Let us jump right into After Effects. After Effects will be a place we animate all our image. We put add camera movement, add camera, the light, and other things. Next time I will teach you the basics of After Effects. What is After Effects? I will show you what After Effects simply means from the scratch. Remember, everything we are learning here, we are learning it from the scratch because we have editors who have never edited, with After Effects before. So maybe they have After Effects on their system, but they have never come across this After Effects stuff before. Once they see it, they say, I don't have time to do all these things. But I tell you, it's something you can do every day. Let me go ahead and open a new composition. Use 1920 by 1080. Let me use 25, the preset. Good. Then, so how do we bring in our Photoshop layer? Is by going to New, Import File, navigate to the folder where we saved the Photoshop PSD. Click it. You see, we are bringing this as a composition. Import. Editable. Yes. Editable simply means this PSD is coming separate the way I save them here. If I said merge, it will merge all of them the way it is and on the desktop. So I will say it editable. I need it split so that I can split it. This is it. Then I will bring this layer in a new comp and double click to get my cuts. You see, these are my cuts, the way I cut it on Photoshop. I bring it into another layer. It is like this. So what will I do? This is the main comp, 1920. Let me bring all these things from here to my main video comp. So first of all, I'll bring in my cloud, edit, copy, come to my main comp. Let me edit, paste. This is my cloud. So now size it the way I want. Or just click S to scale it down. Scale it down. You make it a comp size. Make it a comp size. Enter to accept. Good. Then The second one, I will bring the mountain. The first mountain, Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl V to paste. This is the mountain. Good. Then I will bring the antelopes. Antelope 1 and antelope. Hold down shift. Antelope 2. Ctrl C to copy. Main comp. Ctrl V to paste. Then I will resize my antelopes. Remember, one is here and the other is somewhere here. Trying to be organized. Good. Save your project first. Antelope 5. Save. Then let us bring the mountain. Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste. This is the mountain. Okay, sorry, delete. Mountain is here already. Bring layer 1. Should be mountain 1, mountain 2. Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste. This one should be the other mountain. So what I will do is I will put it behind the antelope and also put it behind the mountain. Behind. Then the last, not the least, copy and paste. Bring it below too. This is the last guy, but not the least. Guy, ra. We save it. Save. Then let us make it 3D. First we'll bring in camera. Make it 35. Say okay. Then we make it 3D by clicking this switch. Make all of them 3D except the camera. Then the background, you hold on shift on CSS, the cloud, you shift it backward, or you simply go here, scale, you scale it backward, bring it back. Then the second background, click S, shift it backward too, and bring it back to fit the comp. The third mountain, S, shift it backward, bring it back. The mountain, shift it little back, bring it down. So do the antelope, both of them, hold down shift, S, shift both of them a little bit and bring them back. Good. Now pick your camera tool, dolly in. You see we are flying through. Press C to jog between the cameras. I am pressing C on my keyboard. This one is move, Ctrl Z. Another C. This one is dolly in, dolly out, Ctrl Z. Another C. This one is rotate. I rotate it into Z-axis. As you can see, this is how it looks like. So what I do now is I will take the mountain and push it backward from here. I will take this mountain layer, push it backward, take the other layer, push it backward. Let us see. Pick this one, push it on Z-axis, push it, make it concise. Let us animate the camera. Click on the camera, press P, position on your keyboard. Turn it a little bit. Mountain. Turn it a little bit. Keyframe. Click this to make a keyframe. I will teach you keyframe assistance next time. Then move forward and take this and hold down shift to move like this. Cloud. Playback. Okay. Press U on your keyboard to see your animation. Bring it close for the sake of the tutorial. For the sake of the tutorial, let me bring it in. Let's assume the antelope that stands here is a human being. They are human being. Press N on your keyboard, that is end. B is beginning, N is end. Then right click on this place and say tree comp area. This is our matte paintings animation. This is for a start, guys. For the sake of the tutorial, I think I will stop here. Next time I will show you matte paintings in another form. Do subscribe to this channel, like the channel, and I will see you some other time.